We're waiting to go live. No, we're waiting to go live on the radio. I'm recording from a remote place, so you're not going to get me on YouTube, but you can get me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and my YouTube, Dr. Ken Harris. No, Dr. Ken's Truth. Anyway, just Google it. All right. So we're just waiting for it to. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I've been listening to the radio all day long. So I gotta tell you, um, it's been an interesting day. But I want to leave a message for the caller Eddie, and I actually recognize his voice, and I recognize who he is, and I got a couple of suggestions for it. First of all, Eddie, I got to tell you, we appreciate you, we respect you. Thank you for being part of the Truth Nation. We got it. No big deal. It's okay. We appreciate the fact that you are supporting us. What I hope it's not, we'll get to that later. But we appreciate and respect you, right? Not everybody would call in and offer their 2 cents and know that other people might recognize their voice and figure out who they are and all those things. But I can appreciate that, okay? I can appreciate it. Eddie, we want you to know that your input is valued. I listened to your conversation on the Tori Lowe show. I listened to your conversation when you were talking and speaking to Liz, and your input is valued. Like everybody else in Truth Nation, we value your comments, right? Not everything. I mean, some things we're not going to let you get away with saying. Some things might rise to a level of shocking the conscience of people. But by and large, we get it, Eddie. So we appreciate and respect you. You're part of the Truth Nation. Eddie, your input is valued. Now, what does that actually mean? That means that people that can, what's the word I'm looking for? People that can resonate with you, with what you're saying, value you, and but then people that it doesn't, your words don't resonate with, don't. It's not a big deal. Not everybody likes everybody. Not everybody supports everybody. But then we also want you to know, Eddie, we thank you for trying to hang with us and support us. See, I don't know where you grew up. I don't know if you grew up hanging around Black people and Hispanic people, or did you grow up in an all white neighborhood and then later met Black people? Or you truly and genuinely support the station. And we know that. We accept that. We respect that. You've called multiple times. You've called several times to multiple shows. And your perspective, while pointed, it was a little different, you know? And part of the issue is that it was well, I was about to say created, but that would have been an assumption. It was presented in a way that's not really open or thoughtful because it's so narrow in terms of this is how I think and it's right. And so doesn't the rest of the world think the way I think? And I find that interesting on the talk and text line. Speak for yourself, Dr. Ken. You don't speak for me. Woken when it comes to people, I don't know what that means, but anyway. What makes you think I'm speaking for you, Derek? Anyway, speak for yourself. I get what you're saying. But here's the kicker. I appreciate Eddie. Eddie is straightforward. Eddie is saying what he believes, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. But sometimes, and while all the people are hitting the talking text line talking about, support people and love people and show, show them some love, there's the other side of that coin too. There are assumptions that people make that they shouldn't make. Like number one, now, Eddie, yeah, we didn't ask you to be an ally. So while we appreciate it, there's a limit to how much you can speak into an experience. And I think he understands that and respects that. White people have to do it because, I'm sorry, did I say white people? Black people have to do it because we have to live in two worlds. Most white people don't. Also, now, Eddie, we didn't reach out and beg for anybody to do that. People presented themselves like Eddie. And while it's okay, and while it's cool, the assumption that it's needed, it's just not true. And so we have to go through life recognizing that when people step up and they want to be on our side and they want to help us and they want to do all these things, it's not necessarily for a good reason. Like some people actually think that we can't get anything done unless they help us. There's a serious assumption that Black people need a helping hand in everything. And it's just not true. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to call it arrogance because it's really not. The assumption that many times when white people speak, they don't really have to back up anything. They just say it and it should be taken at face value as being true because they're the ones that said it. And that is unfortunate. So then how do we make correction without saying or doing something that's offensive to white people? I don't know. 833-212-1017 is the number. How do we let people like Eddie understand that while the meaning behind it might be good, we don't know what the intent is? And that kind of scares me. Because Eddie is representative of a number of people who both support the truth and scowl at the truth. See, I get them on Sunday nights. I hear the vitriol and the, you're terrible, you need to be off the air, blah, 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 blah. When you challenge how someone feels or thinks about their life. But what the truth is here for is disruption. We're here to disrupt the status quo and help people understand that we are indeed a powerful, open, strong, dedicated group of people. And that we can hold our own in any arena in the world. But there's just one thing I want to ask Eddie to do. I want you to find, and we're going to be working on it in the coming weeks for Black History Month next year. I'm going to come up with at least 4 books that I want you to read before Black History Month 2024. And then we'll have a conversation. We're going to start asking for the 4 books every white person needs to read about Black people. Because otherwise, it's difficult to transfer information when we become emotional. Because then we just get tagged as, that person. What Liz Brown told you, I get it. But Eddie, I think one of the things you need to understand is that while it's cute that you say and do what you do, there's really only one thing you need to do before you have another conversation with anybody here. And you know what that is? It's only a 2-word answer. Wake up.